optical transducer or the optical displacement transducer. And if we look at the things which we have seen in the last class, and optical transducers are generally based on the principle of the time which the light takes to reach to go from source to destination. That time is generally called the time of flight, and by measuring that time you can comment on the displacement of the target object. So if you look at this, in the last class we have seen the triangulation method, in which the source generates the light, and the source is generally a laser. That laser travels in a direction which strikes to the target, gets reflected back. That reflected light is collected by the photoreceiver, which is placed on the other end. In case of the triangulation method, we generally prefer two different types of detector. The first one is called PSD, which stands for position sensitive detector. So as the name indicates, based on the position of the beam over the target surface, you can determine the displacement, or you can determine the voltage which we are expecting from the detector. Second type of detector falls in the category of digital detector. It is called the CCD device, where the output is directly available in digital form. So CCD stands for charge coupled device, where you are expecting that whenever the light falls on a particular location, and depending upon the type of detector which you are using, whether it is a one dimensional or two dimensional, so by looking at the position of the beam over the surface of the detector, it will generate a unique pattern of binary code. That depends on the type of detector which you have designed, whether it is 4 bits, 8 bit, 10 bit or 12 bit detector. And based on the output, you can comment on the displacement. So that was the second thing which we have seen in the last class. In addition to that, we are looking at another type of optical detector. It was the phase measurement. It generally falls in the category of time of flight. In that phase measurement method, we are looking at the modulated beam, where you are expecting that your laser light intensity you are modulating, and ultimately by measuring the phase difference between the transmitted and the reflected wave, you can comment on the distance. So that was the second method which we are looking at in the last class. In continuation to that, if you look at the other method which also falls in this time of flight, then let me share the screen with you. Discussion where we are looking at this phase measurement, where you are generating a modulating beam, and by measuring the time delay or the phase difference between the transmitted and the reflected wave, you can comment on the distance or the displacement. Now the second method, which also falls in the category of time of flight. Time of flight means, as I have already told, it is, suppose this is your transmitter, transmits the light beam. Then you have the target which is placed on the other end, and then on the other hand you have a detector. Okay. So on one side you have a source, then you have a target, and then you have a detector. So that is what we have already told, STD. Source, target and detector. So time of flight means the time which it takes to reach from source to the target and again back to the detector. The whole time is called the time of flight. Okay. So based on the same principle, let's take a look at another method. It is called range to frequency conversion. This is the method. So what does it mean? It means that range means we are talking about the length. Or we can say we are talking about the displacement, D. So somehow you are trying to correlate this displacement in terms of frequency. That is the principle. if you look at this method, phase measurement, in this we are converting the displacement in terms of phase difference or time delay. If you look at the other method or the triangulation method, then in that case, we are converting the displacement in terms of the position of the beam. Clear? So displacement is correlated with the position of the beam. Here the displacement is correlated with the phase of or the phase difference between the two waves. And here the displacement is considered or is somehow correlated with the frequency. Clear? So this is the basic principle, or this is the method on which this particular solution is derived. Let's understand what this particular figure means. This is a figure for modulated beam, time of flight, laser displacement transducer. Clear? Modulated beam. Again, modulated beam means somehow your beam or the signal, clear? The signal is somehow mixed with some additional quantity, that is a carrier. Clear? Modulation generally means that your source or your signal is not alone. बराबर? Modulation નો મતલબ શું થાય? Your signal is not alone. It is mixed with some additional information, or it is mixed with some additional carrier. Clear? That is what it means. So in this case also, your input, in this case our input is nothing but the output which is coming from the laser, that is my light beam. Clear? So this is a light beam. Clear? So in this case, our source means light beam is not a stand-alone signal, but it contains some additional information. Clear? So it is called modulated beam. So this beam which is coming out from the laser, this light beam is a modulated light beam. Clear? So that is what the first word means. Second word means time of flight. So as we have already seen, that time of flight means the time which it takes to go from source to the target and the time which it takes to reach to the detector. So STD, this time is called time of flight. So as the distance or as the target moves or changes the position, suppose અહીંયાથી અહીંયા જતું રહ્યું, અહીંયાથી અહીંયા જતું રહ્યું, તો જેમ ટાર્ગેટની પોઝિશન બદલાશે ને એમ શું થશે? It will take a more time. So if the target is over one position, or it is two, if it is a third, if it is at one position, with respect to two, it will take a less time. If the target is at the second position, with respect to three, it will take a less time, but with respect to one, it will take a more time. And if the target is at the position number three, then with respect to one and two, it will take the highest time. So that is what the time of flight means. Next is laser. So laser, why? Because here we are using laser as a source. Before continuing this, can anyone tell me what are the properties of the laser which is beneficial for making it suitable for optical method? લેસર ની એવી કઈ પ્રોપર્ટી છે જેના લીધે લેસર એઝ અ સોર્સ આપણે આ બધી મેથડ્સ માં વાપરીએ છીએ? કોઈ કહી શકશે?
Sir, highly
મોનોક્રોમેટિક છે.
concentrated narrow beam.
વન બાય વન. રજત, શું કીધું તમે?
Sir, highly concentrated narrow beam.
હાઈલી કોન્સન્ટ્રેટેડ. દર્શન?
મોનોક્રોમેટિક.
મોનોક્રોમેટિક.
મોનોક્રોમેટિક સર.
યસ. જ્યોતિન?
Directionality.
Yes, yes, all are correct. Clear? All the answers are correct. It is a highly concentrated monochromatic radiation. Clear? It has a direction. It is a coherent beam. Clear? These all reason makes it suitable to use in this particular method. So here we are using laser as a source and ultimately displacement transducer. So that is what our main purpose for which we are studying this particular method, or for which this particular method is designed. So let's see how this particular thing works. It starts from source. So laser is coming out from this diode, or it may be a source of laser. Then it goes to the optics. As earlier we have seen, optics are generally used to concentrate the beam in particular direction. The optics are nothing but they are the lenses. used to concentrate the beam. So the thing which is coming out of from here, it goes to the prism arrangement. These are the prisms which allows the beam to move in a particular direction. Here, from with the help of the prism, you can change the direction of the beam without any attenuation. So from here, it strikes to here, then it goes something like this. So this is the direction in which your target is placed. અહીંયા તમારું target રાખેલું છે. This is my target T. After striking to the target, the reflected beam. So this is my transmitted beam, and this is my reflected beam. After striking to the target, the reflected beam comes over here. Again, it strikes to the prism, which again used to give the particular direction without any attenuation to the light beam. Then it falls onto the optics. These optics are again, as we have seen, it is used to concentrate the beam. The beam is concentrated so that it falls on our detector. So this is the detector D. This is the source S, and this is the detector D. So from here, it strikes to the target T, and here it falls on the D. So that is your entire event, S, T, D. Now this reflected wave, which falls on the photodiode, first it goes to the amplifier. Amplify, because the whatever output is coming from the photodiode, that is amplitude. Generally, photodiode converts the light beam into current. Sometime additionally, we are also using I2V converter. This converts the current which is coming out from this photodiode into voltage. Just wait for a minute. Okay, so yeah. So it whatever, as we have seen, the light which falls on the photodiode, it falls, it converted into current, and somehow that is converted into voltage to I2V converter. That output goes to the amplifier. So whatever is coming from the photodiode, that is low in amplitude. So this input or this output is generally processed by means of this amplifier. So it gives certain strength to your output. Then it goes to the inverter. So suppose whatever is coming from here, that somehow it is converted into V. So I'll write V over here. Now then it goes to the inverter. So what happens? That output becomes now minus V. Okay, so as the inverter, it just inverts the polarity. So from positive it becomes negative. Now this minus V output goes to the modulator. The modulator is generally used to turn on and turn off the laser. The laser is generally governed by this modulator, this laser or your source. The source is governed by the modulator. So modulator generally turns on, or it might turns off your laser diode. And whether to turn on or whether to turn off, it is decided by whatever it is getting from here. અહીંયા એને જે મળે ને અહીંયા ઇનપુટ એના ઉપરથી ડિસાઇડ કરશે કે મારે ડાયોડને ટર્ન ઓન કરવાનો છે કે ટર્ન ઓફ કરવાનો છે. So whenever it gets negative from here, અહીંયા જ્યારે negative આવે, at that time it turns off the diode. So it turns off the diode. And whenever the input is positive, at that time it turns on the diode. Or whenever it gets nothing, sometimes it will not get anything. At that time also it turns on the diode. So in continuation to this, let's see what happens. So say at initial condition or initially, diode is turned on. Okay? So I'll draw the waveform. So suppose it starts something like this. I'll just erase this. So initially the diode is turned on, like this. So this is the on state. Now what happens whenever it gets turned on? The signal goes from here, or the light goes from here, strikes to the prism, get direction, strikes to the target, gets reflected back, again strikes to the prism, goes to the optics, and ultimately falls on the photodiode. From the photodiode, it goes to the amplifier, goes to the inverter, and then it comes to the modulator. So what happened? Here we are getting V. It becomes minus V. So at that time, what happens? The modulator gets the information that your output becomes negative or your input becomes negative. The input which is coming out from the inverter, which becomes the input to the modulator, this input becomes negative. So whenever it gets this negative input, at that time it turns off the diode. Just a minute. Whenever it gets negative from here, at that time it turns off the diode. So suppose after some time the diode gets turned off. Clear? So this is called off state. Off થઈ ગયો. Now whenever it becomes off, it means nothing is coming from here. Nothing will strike to the target, means nothing is coming to the photodiode. So your amplifier output, in this case, what you are expecting is your amplifier output, you are not getting anything, means it is zero. Here it is zero. So here it becomes, the modulator gets that there is nothing which is coming over here. At that time, immediately it will turn on the diode. So again the diode gets turned on, again the signal goes, it strikes to the target, gets reflected back, falls on the photodiode, goes to the amplifier, goes to the inverter, again it will receive this minus V. Whenever it receives the minus V, again it turns off the diode. Again it turns on the diode, it gets turned on, it gets turned off. This is very, very important. Clear? So here you can see the diode remains turned on for a particular duration. Suppose I'll write that time as a T on. That time is, suppose it is a T on time. Now this T on time is a combination of, first, the time which diode or which the light takes to come from the source strikes to the target and falls on the detector. That is time of flight. So time of or on time is the combination of two quantity. First is the time of flight. I'll write TOF plus this particular laser. So I'll write it as a processing time TPR. કારણ કે જ્યારે એક આ લેઝર ને ટર્ન ઓન અથવા તો ટર્ન ઓફ કરે છે, આ જે ટર્ન ઓન થાય છે એનાથી ફરીવાર ટર્ન ઓફ કરે છે. ઓફ કોણ કરે છે? મોડ્યુલેટર કરે છે. પણ મોડ્યુલેટર જ્યાં સુધી લેસર ને સિગ્નલ મોકલશે ત્યાં સુધી અહીંયા જે આઉટપુટ આવે છે, ફર્સ્ટ ધેટ આઉટપુટ ગોઝ ટુ ધ એમ્પ્લીફાયર, it goes to the inverter, then it comes to the modulator and ultimately then it switches off the laser. એટલે આખી જે પ્રોસેસ છે એની અંદર એને થોડો ટાઈમ લાગે છે. It is called signal processing time. Clear? So your on time is the combination of time of flight and processing time. Now suppose earlier the time is target T is over here. Now suppose if I'll make the target at position number 2, T2. અહીંયા પેલા T1 હતું, હવે T2 છે. પછી એને T3 એ મૂકીશ. Now if I'll change from T1 to T2, the on time will change. બરાબર? On time કેટલો થશે T2 માં? Can anyone tell me? Suppose if I change the target from T1 to T2, what happens to the on time? Whether it increases or whether it reduces?
Increases.
શું થશે? ભાવેશ, નકુમ?
વધશે.
વધશે. Okay. ભાવેશ, નકુમ, are you agree with this? ક્યાં છે?
Yes, sir.
Okay, he is agree. Well, it increases. And what about T3? ભાવેશ, T3 એ જશે તો ટાઈમ ની માં શું થશે? વધશે કે ઘટશે?
Sir, એમાં વધશે.
Okay, બરાબર. T3 માં પણ વધશે. Very good. Now it means that whenever the target changes the position, on time will change. બરાબર? તો T on છે, T off. હવે whenever the time increases, it means whenever the target goes from T1 to T2 or T2 to T3, at that time T on increases. But the main component which contributes to the time, it is not this processing time. Processing time ત્રણેય માટે સરખો રહેશે. T1 ઉપર હોય, T2 ઉપર હોય કે T3. This processing time remains constant. But what is changing is the time of flight. Clear? It means here your displacement. Now what happens? અહીંયા જુઓ, on થાય પછી off થાય, on again off, then on off. So it means this signal is having a definite frequency અને એક frequency મળી જાય on off કરવા માટે, કારણ કે on અને off થાય છે, on અને off થાય છે. It means this particular signal has some definite frequency and that frequency depends upon the time of flight or the on time, and that on time generally depends on time of flight. Clear? So it means this is the method in which the frequency with which the laser diode turns on and it gets turned off, that frequency is related with the time of flight. It means by measuring this frequency, you can correlate the distance and the you can correlate the displacement of the target with respect to your transducer. Clear? I think I hope કે આ આખો પ્રિન્સિપલ દરેકને ખ્યાલ આવ્યો હશે. કોઈને કન્ફ્યુઝન હોય તો પૂછી શકે છે આમાં. Okay. Just continue that. So as I have mentioned, it is a modulated beam. હવે જો modulated beam શું કામ કીધું? અહીંયા જે beam આવે છે એ શું થશે? Turn on, it gets turned off. Turn on, off. Turn on, turn off. Turn on, off. Clear? It means અહીંયાથી તમે જે laser નો જે signal આવે છે, it is like this. Now this has two information. First, it is your light beam, means your source. પહેલું તો તમારું source છે, એ છે તમારી first signal. And second, it has the information about the displacement. So in this case, your light beam becomes a carrier and displacement becomes your information. આપણે જ્યારે મોડ્યુલેશન ની વાત કરીએ ત્યારે મોડ્યુલેશન માં બે વસ્તુ હોય, એક હોય carrier અને એક હોય તમારું મેઇન ઇન્ફોર્મેશન અથવા તો એને મોડ્યુલેટિંગ સિગ્નલ કહેવાય અથવા એને ઇન્ફોર્મેશન કહીએ. તો આ કેસમાં ઇન્ફોર્મેશન શું છે એ તમારી ડિસ્પ્લેસમેન્ટ છે, કારણ કે મેજર તમારે શું કરવાનું છે અલ્ટિમેટલી ડિસ્પ્લેસમેન્ટ. બરાબર. અને તમારું કેરિયર કોણ છે? ઇન ધીસ કેસ કેરિયર ઇઝ યોર લાઇટ બીમ ઓર ધી લેસર આઉટપુટ. બરાબર. That's why it contains a modulated beam. It is also called modulated beam range finders. Range means here we are talking about the range of target. Target ની જે range હોય ને એ. So ultimately that is your displacement D. This configuration forms an oscillator where laser switching itself on and off using its own signal. This is very important. આ લેસર ને મેં કીધું ઓન થાય છે, ઓફ થાય છે, ઓન થાય, પણ એ કઈ રીતે થાય છે? જે લેસર નું સિગ્નલ છે એ જ અહીંયા જશે, સ્ટ્રાઇક થશે, પાછું હશે, ફોટો ડાયોડમાં જશે, એમ્પ્લીફાયરમાં જશે, ઇન્વર્ટરમાં જશે, પાછું મોડ્યુલેટરમાં જશે. એટલે એ સિગ્નલ જ નક્કી કરશે કે ભાઈ લેઝરને ટર્ન ઓન કરવો છે કે લેઝરને ટર્ન ઓફ. એટલે પોતાની જાતને જ લેસર gets a signal and that is its own signal by which it will decide whether it has to turn on, it has to turn off. Clear? So it is a kind of oscillator. So oscillator means we are talking about a frequency generator. And here the period of oscillation, it is a time light takes to travel to the target and return. So આપણે વાત કરી કે જે oscillation period છે, that is your total time TT, is a combination of two things. First is time of flight and second is time needed to amplify the signal. આપણે એને કીધું time of processing. It is a combination of two things, time of flight TOF and the processing time or the amplification time. This modulated beam sensors are typically used in intermediate range application for distances from few centimeters to several tens of meters. It means we are talking about say from 1 to 1 centimeter to we are talking about up to 99 meters. Clear? It has a higher range. But this is true when you are dealing with the diffuse reflectance or the diffuse surface. If you have a surface which is specular in nature, the range can be extended to several hundreds or thousands of meters. Clear? So you can increase the range whenever the nature of the target changes. કોઈ કહી શકશે આ diffuse reflectance અને specular target આ બંનેનો શું મતલબ થાય છે? આપણે લાસ્ટ ટાઈમ વાત કરી હતી. Yes, anyone?
ડિફ્યુઝ એટલે જે આપણી લાઇટ હોય એને શોષી લે, રિફ્લેક્ટ ના થવા દે. અને સ્પેક્યુલર ટાર્ગેટ્સ મીન્સ ચમકીલા, કે જે આપણે લાઇટની સ્ટ્રાઇક હોય એને આપણને રિટર્ન બેક કરે, એકદમ મિરર ટાઈપ.
Yes, very correct. Diffuse surface એટલે નોર્મલ જે આપણો સરફેસ હોય એ, બરાબર, એકદમ થોડોક ખરબચડો સરફેસ પણ હોઈ શકે. Clear? So from there what happens, whenever it strikes to that target, it gets reflected in the various direction, અલગ-અલગ direction માં જશે. So that is called diffuse reflection. And whenever your surface is specular, એકદમ ચળકાટ વાળો સરફેસ હોય તો તમે જોયું જ છે, ચળકાટ વાળા સરફેસ ઉપર જ્યારે લાઇટ પડે તો એમાંથી એકદમ રિફ્લેક્શન આવે લાઇટનું, બરાબર. At that time whatever reflection you will get, it is called specular reflection. એટલે so ચળકાટ વાળો કોઈ સરફેસ હોય અને એની માટે તમે આ મેથડ વાપરતા હોય તો ઓફકોર્સ તમને રિફ્લેક્શન વધારે મળશે, એટલે આ રેન્જને તમે એક્સટેન્ડ કરી શકો. અને ડિફ્યુઝ રિફ્લેક્શન હોય તો રિફ્લેક્શન દરેક સાઈડમાં જશે અને એના લીધે જે નોર્મલ રિફ્લેક્શન તમારું આવવું જોઈએ એ ઘણું બધું ઓછું થઈ જશે. That's why the overall range of your transducer is limited. But if the surface is like a mirror, then the overall range of the transducer can be extended. બરાબર. Now the next type of optical transducer, it is called micro laser interferometer. It is called interferometer. આપણે લાસ્ટ ટાઈમ શરૂઆતમાં જ વાત કરી હતી. કોઈ કહી શકશે what is interferometer? Yes, શ્રાવણ વોરા, ઇન્ટરફેરોમીટર વિશે કઈ કહી શકશો તમે?
નો આઈડિયા સર.
થોડું વર્ડ ને સમજવાની ટ્રાય કરશો. ઇન્ટરફર આની અંદર બે વર્ડ છે. લેટ્સ સી. ફર્સ્ટ ઇઝ ઇન્ટરફેર. ઇન્ટરફિયર નો મતલબ શું થાય? ઇન્ટરફિયર નો મતલબ શું થાય?
સામેલ થવું.
Sir,
શું થવું?
interference of two beam.
શ્રાવણ, ઇન્ટરફિયર નો મતલબ
દખલગીરી
શું થાય?
કરવી.
દખલગીરી કરવી. ઓકે. And one of you has rightly mentioned interference. ઇન્ટરફિયર એટલે દખલ કરવી. દખલ કરવી મતલબ કે કોઈ એક રેગ્યુલર કામ ચાલુ હોય, બરાબર, એની અંદર બીજું અંદર કામ એડ કરવું. બે જણ વાત કરતા હોય, ત્રીજો અંદર આવી જાય. બે વ્યક્તિ એક પર્ટિક્યુલર કામ કરતા હોય, ત્રીજો આવીને અંદર ઓલું આવી જાય. બરાબર. એક પર્ટિક્યુલર તમે ખુદ કામ કરતા હોય, અત્યારે તમારો લેક્ચર ચાલુ હોય અને સડનલી તમે મોબાઈલમાં જ અટેન્ડ કરતા હોય ને ફોન આવી જાય. બરાબર. ઘણી વખત એવું થાય ને મોબાઈલમાં. મોસ્ટ ઓફ ધ પીપલ આર અટેન્ડિંગ ઇન મોબાઈલ. આઈ થિંક ઓલમોસ્ટ. તમે તમારું પેલું સર્વે ફોર્મ લીધું. આઈ ફાઉન્ડ, આઈ થિંક આઉટ ઓફ જેટલા સ્ટુડન્ટ છે ને એમાંથી એકાદ વ્યક્તિને બાદ કરતા એવરીવન ઇઝ યુઝિંગ મોબાઈલ. So if you are attending the lecture in mobile, suddenly if you have a call, then call interfere. Clear? So એક કામ ચાલુ હોય અને suddenly if there is no lecture અને call આવે તો it is not interfere. કારણ કે એક વસ્તુ ઓલરેડી એક કામ તમારું ચાલુ છે અને બીજું કામ આવે તો ઇન્ટરફિયર કહેવાય. પણ એક જ કામ ચાલુ હોય then there is no interfere. કોઈ કામ ચાલુ ના હોય અને કામ આવે then there is no interfere. So interfere meter. So the meter means measuring or monitoring. So measuring something with the help of interference. Micro means we are talking about a lesser range in terms of micrometer. આપણે રેન્જ આવી વાત કરીએ છીએ માઇક્રોમીટરની. લેસર is a source. So what does it mean? It means that you to measure the smaller range of displacement with the help of laser as a source by utilizing the interference of two light beam. Clear? આનો પ્રિન્સિપલ આવો છે. માઇક્રોમીટર મેઝરમેન્ટ કરવું છે with the help of laser as a source અને with the help of the principle of interference of two light beam. That is the basic principle on which this entire method is designed. So interferometer can measure very small displacement with high degree of accuracy. That is what you are expecting. Whenever you talk about this smaller range, at that time, the most important thing is accuracy. For that, we will use a method which is devised by K.A. Michelson, who has developed an interferometer. So whenever if we see this interferometer, then earlier there is no means whenever this Michelson has developed this particular interferometer, at that time there was no laser available. So what he has done is he has used a source which is coherent and monochromatic in nature. Laser એ વખતે નહોતું. We are talking about 100 years back. So there was no laser available. So what he did is he has used coherent and monochromatic radiation. So let's take a look at the mechanism of this Michelson interferometer. So this is the source S. S is nothing but your source. Let's see what he has used. L is generally the lens. G is called beam splitter. C is called compensator. Now M1 and M2, these two are called the mirrors. આ બંને mirrors છે. One of them, this is a movable mirror. This is a movable mirror. અહીંયા નીચે જો અહીંયા બંને નાના wheel જેવું આપ્યું છે. It means it is movable. And this one is a fixed mirror. E is called eyepiece. E is called eyepiece. Yes. So source generates the light. Lens L is used to concentrate the light beam. G beam splitter, નામ પ્રમાણે ગુણ છે. Split means to divide. Beam splitter means to divide the beam. So it divides the beam in two parts. One beam goes in this direction. So I'll write B1 over here. Second beam goes in other direction. I'll write B2 over here. And whatever comes here, it is the combination of B1 and B2. Clear? So source generates the light, goes to the lens, strikes to the this particular G, that is the beam splitter. So what happened? One beam goes in this direction, that is called B1. This light beam B1 strikes to the A, location A, or the fixed mirror M1. From that it gets reflected back, and then it falls on the eyepiece E. Likewise, there is another beam which is called B2. That beam goes in this particular direction, strikes to the mirror M2, which is the position number B, gets reflected back, again falls on the beam splitter, and then it goes to the eyepiece E. It means that the beam which travels in this eyepiece direction, it is the combination of two, B1 and B2. So it means this is a mixed of two light beams. આપણે વાત કરી, interferometer is based on the principle of interference of two light beams. So with this method, what he has done is, with the help of a single light beam B, with the help of the beam splitter, it has generated the two light beam, and these two light beam again it has mixed over here, and ultimately it falls on the eyepiece E. Clear? This is the entire mechanism. હવે આપણે ડિસ્કસ કરીએ કે કઈ રીતે કામ કરે. Let's see how it works. Clear? So I'll simply write B1 plus B2 here for your understanding. Now, whenever two light beam interacts with each other, suppose these are the two light beams. I'll show first light beam. I have a second light beam. Now, suppose if two light beams interacts with each other, having something like this. Here you can see, what you can see is, this is B1, this is B2. If two light beams are like this, then this is called the constructive nature of light. And suppose if there are two light beams, which are like this, suppose if B1 is like this and B2 is like this is called the destructive nature of light beam. Clear? આને કહેવાય constructive. Why? Because here you can see the phases are aligned. Here these phases are aligned. So ultimately what happens, due to this constructive nature, it will create a bright spot. I'll just write a bright spot. Bright light spot. The bright spot of the light, or generally આપણે એને બીજી રીતે કેવું હોય, then we can say it is a white spot of the light. White. And if the nature is like this, then in this case it will create a dark spot of the light. Athwa in second ભાષામાં કહી શકાય, it will create a black spot of the light. Clear? White and black. And if the phase between the two beam is in between this constructive and destructive nature, then it will create a light beam, a shade of black. ધારો કે નથી એકદમ constructive nature, નથી એકદમ destructive nature, તો શું થાય? It is somewhere in between the black and white. Clear? So with the help of the same principle, here we are using this particular constructive and destructive nature of the light beams to identify the position of the mirror. So let's see what they will do. The initial process is, this is your B1, this is your B2. Now, as if the beam which is coming out of the source, it strikes to the target A and comes back to the E. This particular location or this particular path, it is called optical path 1. Clear? OP means optical path. Optical path એટલે optical શું કામ કે because it is called light. It is related to the light. So light જે S માંથી આવે છે beam splitter માં જાય એ સાથે ભટકાય અને પાછી E ઉપર આવે beam splitter માં થઈને. એ આખો પાથ છે એને કહેવાય OP1. An optical path in which the light which is coming out of the source goes to beam splitter, goes to compensator, strikes to the mirror M2, comes back to C, comes back to G, and ultimately falls on E. This is called optical path 2. આને કહેવાય optical path 2, OP1 and OP2. So in the initial state, OP1 is equal to OP2. આવું આપણે કરવાનું. આ મિરર તમારો ફિક્સ છે. This is fixed mirror F and this is the movable mirror M. તો પહેલા શું કરવાનું છે કે ઇનિશિયલી ઓપ્ટિકલ પાથ 1 એટલે કે આ જે B1 બીમ ને જેટલો ટાઈમ લાગે છે અને ઓપ્ટિકલ પાથ 2 એટલે કે જે આ M2 એટલે B2 બીમ ને જે ટાઈમ લાગે છે તો એ B1 અને B2 બંને બીમની જે ઓપ્ટિકલ લેન્થ છે એ બંને સરખી કરવાની. So at that time you will get a visible bright spot. કેમ? કારણ કે at that time both the beams are constructive in nature. આવા જ આવશે બે constructive. Clear? So that is called the initial state or the initial condition. Now the displacement, after ultimately we are using it for displacement. So whenever we talk about the displacement, at that time that D is the displacement of the movable mirror with respect to the position M1. અથવા fixed mirror ના સાપેક્ષમાં M2 ની જે movement છે ને with respect to M1, you have to move the M2. હવે ધારો કે M2 ને આપણે આ બાજુ લઈ જઈએ. Suppose if I take M2 on this side, it means what happens is this optical path 1 remains same, but the optical path 2 becomes lesser. આ ઓછું થઈ જશે. Suppose if I move the mirror on this side, આ બાજુ લઈ જઈએ. OP1 remains constant, but optical path 2 will increase. Clear? So as if the optical path length you will change, the change will be observable at the eyepiece E. eyepiece છે કેમેરામાં જેમ આપણે eyepiece માં જોઈએ ને એવી રીતનું છે. This is the observer eye. Clear? Observer અહીંયા છે અને ત્યાંથી through eyepiece he is looking at what is observable from here. Now whenever the optical path length changes, at that time what you can observe is you can observe the fringes on this eyepiece E. Fringe dekhaye. Fringe means it is nothing but it is the alternate level or alternate layer of dark and light spot. આવી રીતે આખે આખું black હોય તો અહીંયા એકદમ black. So here it is black, white, something like this. This is called the fringe. આને કહેવાય fringes. આવું તમને દેખાશે black white એવી રીતે. પછી શું કરે? Then what they will do is they will mark a fixed line. આ એક line mark કરે, line of measurement. And from the fixed line, as if they move the mirror M, then they will try to see how many times. પછી શું થશે? Whenever they change the mirror, at that time these bands will change their position. પહેલા અહીંયા હશે તો આ બેમ અંદરથી બહાર આવતું લાગશે. I'll just show you one of the video which makes this entire thing clear in your mind. Right, so this is just for understanding the principle. These are the two mirrors. અહીંયા બંને mirror છે. This is one mirror, this is second mirror. This is your light source, this is a beam splitter, and this is your observer eye position E. Let's see how it works. So here you can see the laser or the light which is coming out of the source through the beam splitter, it gets two direction. One, it goes on this side, second, it goes on this side. Now again, they will come back to the beam splitter and they fall on this target T. Now see what they are doing. In this case, just for understanding purpose, they are moving both the mirror. But in our case, one of the mirror will remain constant while the second mirror is movable. Yes, so like this. Now, if you look at if you consider light as a beam, now see what happens. Here the beam is split in two parts. One, it goes in those sides. Second, it goes on this side. This light beam strikes to the mirror, gets reflected back. Just like that, from the other mirror, it will come over here. Now here you can see, this is very, very important thing. Here you can see the light beam, both are out of phase with each other. Clear? Now what they are doing is they are changing the position of the mirror. You can see from here it goes over here, from it, and as if they change the position, here you can see the light beam which are intersecting with each other. See, when they are exact in opposition, when they are destructive in nature, at that time ekdam spot dark થઈ જશે તો કાળા કલર નું થશે. And whenever they are constructive, something like this, you will get a visible light spot on the screen. This is destructive, constructive, destructive, constructive. And something which is in between the 180 and 0, at that time they will get a less brighter spot. 0 અને મતલબ 0 અને 1 ની વચ્ચે ઘણા બધા લેવલ છે. It's like that only. Clear? It is analog. Which is something which is in between the visible light spot and something which is in between that light and bright spot. It is a various level of darkness. થોડું ઓછું dark, વધારે dark, like this. This will clear your idea about how the light is interacting and how it will create a spot. In continuation to that, if we look at the same thing, what the fringes mean. મેં તમને કીધું કે fringes આવે છે. Let's see what that fringes mean. So this is how the instrument looks like. It is not available in our lab, but if at all we will see that, it is like this. Here you can see this is the mirror which moves. This is the mirror which is fixed. Yeah, everything is good. This is a beam splitter. This one. This is the adjustable mirror. So as I mentioned, these are the displacement. Displacement na level che. This is the movable mirror. This one, and through micrometer knob you can move it. Now this setup is little bit different because if you don't know the wavelength of your source, then by measuring the number of fringes and by knowing the displacement, you can find the wavelength. બરાબર એવું છે કે if you જો આ થોડું યાદ રાખો શું કહે છે, if you don't know the wavelength of your source, then by measuring the fringes and displacement you can get the wavelength. પણ આમાં શું છે, we know the wavelength. So by measuring the number of fringes and knowing wavelength, you can find out the displacement. આપણે જોઈએ calculation શું છે. Here you can see this is called fringes. Here the observer is changing this micrometer screw. Now see this. Is it visible to all? This particular thing. This is called fringes. This is called fringes. We alternate light, dark, light, dark. These are called the cycles. These are called the interference fringes. હવે શું કરે જો અહીંયા એક એને પટ્ટી લગાવી. આ પટ્ટી લગાવીને શું કરશે? Now what they will do is they will start count it. આ બંને જો એક લાઈટ છે એની વચ્ચે એને બે લાઈટ ઓલી છે એની વચ્ચે બે પટ્ટી લગાવી. Now what they will do is they will start the counting. They are moving this micrometer. કેટલી વખત આ મૂવ થાય છે that they will count it. Count the number of cycles. 3, 4. Every time a cross thase, they will count them. This is called one cycle. Clear? Here displacement is known. આમાં એટલો જ ડિફરન્સ છે કે ડિસ્પ્લેસમેન્ટ ખબર છે અને ડિસ્પ્લેસમેન્ટ ઉપરથી વેવલેન્થ ફાઇન્ડ કરે છે. This is the relation. Lambda is equal to 2d by n. N is the number of cycle, lambda is the wavelength, and d is displacement. So in our case, lambda is known, n એટલે number of cycle જે આપણે કાઉન્ટ કરે આગળ 20. So n is known, n we will find. So from the n and the knowing value of lambda, you can find the d. આની અંદર થોડું અલગ છે. આમાં એને શું છે કે d 6.5 માઇક્રોમીટર એની પાસે મળી ગયું, એના ઉપરથી એ lambda find કરે છે. That is the only difference. And this is the same thing, light which is coming out of source, it goes to the beam splitter, strikes to the target, strikes to the mirror, comes back, and ultimately it strikes to the observer eye or on the viewing screen. So I hope કે આનો આઈડિયા તમને ખ્યાલ આવ્યો હશે.
Yes, sir.
So that is called fringe. Fringe નો મતલબ જે ઓલું alternate light dark એવું દેખાતું હતું ને, that is called fringes. Yeah, so as I have shown, આવું જ instrument હતું, and here also you can see these are called the fringes. હવે તો બધું આવી રીતનું આવી ગયું છે. Directly it is available on your laptop. These are called the fringes. This is the same thing, source, then you have beam splitter, one of the mirror is movable, second is a fixed mirror. Now compensator. Compensators are generally used to make the optical length 1 and optical length 2. બને ક્યારે કે બંને લેન્થ સરખી ના હોય, પણ ઇનિશિયલ કન્ડિશનમાં આપણે વાત કરી કે optical length 1 must be equal to OL2. જો આ ના હોય તો એ કરવા માટે you have to use the compensator, and these are called the fringes. Clear? It is available on the detector B. This is all thing we have seen. G is the beam splitter, A is parallel beam of light, S is source, L is everything which we have seen already. So as we have seen, there are two optical length. First is through the M1 and second is through the M2. C is used to make the both optical lengths same. This method measure changes in length by counting the number of fringes, or the number of cycle, and fringes or number of cycles that pass the field of view as the mirror M2 was moved. Now this method was earlier known as a laboratory method. આ તમે આખું instrument જોયું. Instrument is generally used in laboratory, but due to the invention of semiconductor material, now this method is also suitable in the industry. That's why nowadays this method utilizes the semiconductor laser based instrument. Okay? So that is all about the micro laser interferometer. We will continue our discussion with another type of displacement transducer, that is called the fiber optic transducer, in the next class. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, you too, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, take care.
Bye sir.
Bye bye. Take care.